Ducor debates. Ducor debates.
This is an LMDI production.
Ducor debates. Ducor debates.
This is an LMDI production.
Ducor debates. Ducor debates.
This is an LMDI production.
Ducor debates.
This is an LMDI production.
Ducor debates. All right, so this morning from the University of Liberia, Luxon Tenebre, Fendall campus of the university indeed, Ducor debates for elections 2022 Press Union of Liberia is beginning. Thank you. All right, today, election 2022, Press Union of Liberia, Ducor debate session, the latest, bringing on board the candidates of the day. So today, 2022 debate for PEL elections beginning right now. We will process into the hall the following candidates of the day. Today we call and will get into this hall candidate for Secretary General Akwe Beza Jr. Akwe, may you proceed to the podium. Thank you. Akwe Beza is proceeding on Ducor Debates 2022 Press Union of Liberia. Thank you. Beza may proceed as fast. Thank you, Beza. Next today, for Ducor Debates Press Union of Liberia, we call and we'll get candidate for Vice President Betty Johnson Mbao. Betty will proceed. Betty is proceeding to the podium on Ducor Debates Press Union Session 2022. Thank you, Betty, for arriving. Today, candidate for VP, Vice President Beatrice Sear will arrive. Beatrice is proceeding. Beatrice Titi Sear. Candidate for Vice President, Press Union of Liberia, elections 2022. Beatrice, thank you for coming. Now for the big ones. We call today and we'll get contender Julius Kuli Kanuba. Julius Kuli Kanuba will arrive. Julius is arriving for this debate. Thank you, Julius, for coming and for taking the podium. Last but not the least, of course, we're calling candidate for President Daniel Yankuna. Daniel Yankuna, candidate for president, will arrive. Elections 2022. Candidate for President Daniel Yankuna is approaching the podium now. Great elections indeed. Candidates Besa, Mbao, Sie, Kanuba, and Yankuna having arrived for this debate. Ladies and gentlemen, may we rise together to take the national anthem of Liberia. Let's sing it together. Thank you. On Ducor debates. Liberia. Restline of liberty shall long. Joy and glad. A hand of applause for Liberia. Thank you, and for PUL. Thank you. It goes with the terrain. You are welcoming Amanda people. All right. All right, thank you. Please go to the back. And all battle cries will stop now. Thank you. In this hall, no militancy. In this hall, it's time for sober reflection. For sobriety is the key to genuineness. Thank you. Great guys, and they just went as quiet. Thank you very much. All right, so we are proceeding. Today's debate is moderated by us, the LMDI, and we think as colleagues you know us so well. But we will invite Adam Tuba to just introduce us to you briefly. Adam, thank you. On Ducor Debates 2022.
Okay, like John just said, we have those that make up the team of moderators today. On the team, we have Mrs. Limo White. Limo White works at the Liberian Media for Democratic Initiatives, LMDR, and as part of her work, she is involved in leading community mobilization and also assisting the program unit in report writing. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm pleased to present to you one of our moderators today, Limo White. Limo White, where are you? Please stand where you are. Okay, there's Limo White. Also on the moderating board today is D. Adam Tuba. D. Adam Tuba is Deputy Director at the Liberian Media for Democratic Initiatives, LMDR. And as Deputy Director, D. Adam Tupa helps the director in running the day-to-day activities at the institution. Besides that, Adam serves as the national coordinator on LMDR's platform called Tomorrow's People, moderating academic challenge competitions. Adam also supports and is the director in moderating national debates and community media forums. Ladies and gentlemen, Adam Tupa, your humble moderator. Finally, on the moderating board today is Director John O. Colley. John O. Colley is the director of the Liberia Media for Democratic Initiatives, LMDR. John is the one that runs the day-to-day activities of LMDR. John is an astute journalist, a community mobilizer, and a human rights advocate who has been working and serving humanity in Liberia and beyond Liberia for more than 30 years. Ladies and gentlemen, John is our lead moderator today for the President of Liberia candidates debate for elections 2022. Ladies and gentlemen, our lead moderator is somebody that is well known. So I have the honor to present to you John O. Colley.
Ducor debates. Ducor debates.
This is an LMDI production.
Thank you so much. And Ducor debates is going straight into business. Biza, Mbao, Yakona, Sie, Beatrice, and Kanuba. Now, great to hear from you. Today, we will call each speaker to speak. And we will say, JKB, you are given 5 seconds to speak. And all we need to do is to give JKB his time. And it starts to count from that number to 0. At 0, there will be a sound. 5 seconds now. Ducor debates. Ducor debates. So JKB's 5 seconds will be finished. And then beyond that, we will blast the hall. He can't speak better than those speakers. No way. So, we're going to the debate now. All right. There's always a temptation. Every level in life has a devil, the Christians say. So, today, next segment, Intra-Kennedy's questions and answers. And so that will begin with the vice presidential candidates, Betty and Beatrice, B&B. The truth is that 1B will be vice president. 1B and then one what? I hate to hear that word female, too bad. One woman will be vice president. 2 truths. 1B, 1 woman. All right, now, here is a rule to our game. You got the first question? That why you came?
No.
Oh, really?
No, I came because you called my name.
Oh, sorry. We were just saying B and B. Sorry. But if you got, if you like, but if you got question, you can stay right there. You got question for B? Yeah, but that way you here. B, come to B. So it's Betty to Beatrice, vice presidential candidate. Betty Mbayo to Beatrice here. Question now. Here's the rule to the game. You got 2 questions. Actually, 2 questions, 1 rebuttal. Rebuttal meaning you said things I don't agree with. This is what it should. So, question number 1. Betty Mbayo to Beatrice here. Ducor debates.
This is an LMDI production.
So first, before I go for the question, I will go for the rebuttal.
Okay. I don't know what you're reporting to now. Ducor debates.
Good. So at the time, an opponent came out. She spoke about the issue of urban journalists having awards only. Right. And I would like to say that's totally false and misleading. And she's spreading misinformation. And just on few clarity, I want to say that last year, Onismo Gawe, who resides in Grand Bassa, won an award. And Moses Pele also won an award, and several awards as well. So please get that right.
Right. Rebuttal out. Done for Betty. Now, your number 1 question. Ducor debates.
Thank you. Beatrice. Is that your name?
Of course.
Thank you.
Please give them chance. They have the stage. Is there right, please? Yes. Your question number one now be B to B.
This post you are vying for, like me, I'm concerned about your professional background and your ethical background. What exactly do you bring to this table?
Question number one. Answer one from Beatrice here. Thank you.
Ducor debates. Thank you so much. I'm so glad that you asked such a distinct question. And the answer is, I bring all qualities to this table that has to do with accountability, that has to do with impartial advocacy for journalists, that has to do with rights for women in the media, and the rule of law.
A follow-up?
No follow-up. Question number two, your last.
You bring all qualities, as you said. What's your track record?
I've served in the media for over 20 years now, ranging from the position of sales manager to announcer, presenter, program director, a newscaster, a trainer, station manager, and now an owner of a platform sourcing online television. So these are all quality things that are pushed towards female empowerment, rural journalists benefiting from such platform. So these are what I brought to my president when elected.
All right, so do you have questions for Betty at all, if you like?
Of course.
Question number one, Beatrice here to Betty Mbao. Thank you.
Ducor debates.
This is an LMDI production.
Betty Mbao, the PUL has to do with a whole lot of things, but we look at the code of ethics which protect journalists, guide us, so that we can be upstanding as they speak. How will you intend to uphold the code of ethics of the press of Liberia when there are sticky issues concerning legality when it comes to you and a public official?
That's better. Your response.
So as per my... Am I clear?
You're very clear, man.
Thank you. As per my legal battle, I would like to say, and that is not a discussion for this place because it's currently in court.
All right.
Thank you.
Prejudice.
And
you have any more questions?
No. There were two questions in one. Right?
I asked you
one question. And you've answered.
It was about ethics. And
well, you've answered generally. Okay, go ahead with the ethics.
Thank you.
Yes.
There was one question.
Well, you raised ethical issue. Let her respond.
Yeah.
That's important. Yes.
As per my record, and for the 10 years I've been in the media, there has not been any complaint against my unethical practice, which of course every 1 year I wear. That's why I have grown from a volunteer in the media to a reporter and now a manager of a fact-checking institution. So if I do not have those records, I won't be here, especially vying for a post.
Thank you. Beatrice, one more question?
I'm good.
Please go. You good?
Yeah.
Reporter?
Yes. Particular question. And she said that the PUL Code of Ethics states that we should be morally clear of all problems. So she's saying, and I have a serious issue with the PUL present Elections Commission. You should be free of all.
Well, you have an issue with them, not with her.
So she's saying it's a report that she's saying she's.
Go ahead, she's talking.
She's saying she's clear of everything, and I think it's false. It's a misleading.
It's misleading?
Yes.
Thank you. Both of you back off.
Thank you, John.
Goodbye. Thank you. All right, so great teams. Ducor Debates 2022 Press Union of Liberia Elections Candidates Debate is taking a break today at the theater of the Fendall campus of the University of Liberia. To be back.
Ducor Debates. Ducor Debates.
This is an LMDI production.
Each one shot, each one yes. Each one shot, each one yes.
Honey, I was listening to the radio the other day and I hear people saying each one teach one. What that one really mean?
It means one person who know book must help the other person whether know book to know book, especially in the area of reading and writing. All you need, number 1, your ABC book. Number 2, your copy book. 3, pencil and free time for you and for your teacher. Then if you know it well, you can help other people to be like you. Like what we call each one teach one.
I think when everybody do the thing here, then we all helping to make Liberia good country and big bold country.
A message brought to you by Literate Liberia Movement.
Each one shot, each one yes. Each one shot, each one yes.
Ducor debates. Ducor debates.
This is an LMDI production.
We are back. All right. Next will be our presidential candidates. This time, 3 questions, 2 rebuttals. Anybody with a question for the other? Kanuba? Yankona? Nothing personal because you know each other too well. Two of you. Let me tell you now. Nothing personal. Everything should be in line with the joy you want from us. Yes. You're going to join the man. Oh, the man waiting for you.
What's up before the questions or?
I don't care what you start with. You got 3 questions, 2 rebuttals. And you're doing rebuttal, just make sure we're counting against your number. So, Julius Kanuba, candidate for president, to Daniel Yankona, candidate for president. Question number 1, Julius. Ducor debates.
This is an LMDI production.
Well, just before the first question, I'd like to issue a rebuttal. Rebuttal in the sense that, first, Daniel is dishonest.
Okay.
To look at me and say I ran away from the PUL is an act of dishonesty. To even say that you abandoned the PUL is an act of dishonesty. In the last 11 years, I've been working with and for the PUL. If Daniel is honest, colleagues are in the room, he will tell you that just in April, when the Press Union of Liberia was issuing or released about the issue of April Fool, I helped him. So the issue of my going to the EU is being debated across the media. I left the PUL in 2011, and I left on the grounds of professional development. So currently, if Daniel is honest, he will tell you that I, as an individual, when I work with the EU, I know what I did at the EU knows. And then if he says Julius is dishonest, he left the PUL. But his wife, who is a professional journalist, I respect her 100%. His wife is currently working at the EU that he's trying to demonize me. So that's the correlation. So it's an act of...
Stay on track, please. Forget about... All right, so go on to the next.
So...
Hey, gentlemen, Mark.
It's not personal, please.
Mike
Kula, it's not personal, please. Please listen.
Mark.
Right, I'm
Hello, Daniel.
Mark.
Please go ahead.
Yeah.
All right.
Mark, please.
Daniel, you have a right to that defense, right?
I'm not completely.
That's the point.
Yeah.
Please go ahead.
And
finish up.
And the other point is...
Yes.
There has been a pattern of misinformation and disinformation, right?
Move now to your question. Question number 1.
Question number 1.
The issue is, you said no, your departure to the EU was not a kind of abandonment. That point is made. Your question now.
Yeah. Question number 1. Daniel, you stated in your platform that you would like to engage in different programs at the PUL. You talk about the construction of the headquarters, the issue of improved wage conditions for journalists in Liberia.
Yes, sir.
Why is it in 9 years you've been serving the Press Union of Liberia,
yes, sir,
you failed to live up to the expectations of members of the union in relation to the issue of salaries, in relation to the construction of the PUL headquarters? And then second,
you can't.
Oh, okay.
Ducor debates.
This is an LMDI production.
The short answer to that is that Daniel Yankuna was elected in 2013 as Assistant Secretary General. And if you read your constitution very well, there's one sentence that prescribes the role of the Assistant Secretary General. It's to assist the Secretary General. Being promoted as Secretary General, I was also given a task to run the Secretariat. To the Vice Presidency is to assist my President, Mr. Coffey, in his vision. So, Mr. Kanuba, you read the Constitution outside down, and I ask that you go and read it perfectly.
Question number 2, Julius Kanuba to Daniel Yankuna. Let's go.
Question number 2, he starts saying that it shows that there's a lack of innovation.
No. You can't do that. Question number 2.
Question number 2. The issue surrounding journalists in the counties has been discussed.
Please allow us to do this. Thank you. Question number 2.
Question number 2. The issue of journalists in the counties has been an issue facing the Press Union of Liberia, confronting the Press Union. What have you done practically as a member of the leadership, not just as assisting? What have you done for the welfare of journalists in the counties in terms of salaries? And secondly...
No. Answer that.
So... you are asking about journalists' welfare in the county because we have taken the press union to them. The first and foremost is that we are taking the press union to Lofa, to Vonjama, to Harper, to Greenville, to Senencole. All across the nooks and corners of this country, there is press union chapter there. And there's somebody at the back there called Stephen Talu, who has recently come from Grand Judah and is now working with Prime FM. It is because our policies are moving in strategic position that we plan these reporters at various institutions in town. So, my friend, you will be defeated. You will tap in your knowledge, and then you will provide a little bit of consultancy. Don't worry.
Question number 3, your last. Julius to Daniel.
Question number 3. Why is it that the Press Union of Liberia has failed under the current leadership and under previous leadership that you serve under to resolve the issue of the Press Union of Liberia headquarters project, which is very, very central? The administration you serve in withdrew the case. In June this year, the president, you were in your presence at the induction of the Association of Judicial Reporters. He said the headquarters case will be resolved. Why is it from your elections, all of the positions you occupy, you are an important player in the union? You are not just elected to hold title to the PUL.
Is he asking a question?
To implement project. Why is it that your administration or the administrations you work with has failed to build the Press Union headquarters?
Thank you. Daniel, your response really quickly.
When we get elected to the Press Union and all of serious organizations in our country, there are people who bear the standards. The standards at the Press Union is bared by Charles Coffey, the president at the union. He drives every policy there. The Press Union headquarters has not been built. He has been so engaged with it to make it work. That has not happened. We will make it happen when we are elected.
Good. Thanks to both of you. You got questions for Julius?
So my first question is, Julius, why did you resign as Assistant Secretary of the Press Union?
Question number 1, Julius.
Very simple reason. I resigned because of professional development. I was an Assistant Secretary General of the PUL. I served for nearly a year at the PUL. I did not resign upon election. And I'd like to state this very clearly. I was in the United States when my colleagues came together, when members of the PUL overwhelmingly elected me as an assistant secretary based on my competencies and qualifications. I realized as a person, I had limitations. I needed to professionally develop and to come back to the PUL to offer my competences, my expertise, and the number of years that I've stayed in journalism. So it's very simple. There is nothing. And before resigning, I should say, I consulted extensively to the extent that in one of the consultations with senior brother Alfonso Zion, I had an accident. Daniel, if he's honest, he was consulted. He was consulted. But in these elections, they want to make my resignation. And I resigned 11 years ago.
Thank you.
If the PUL...
Thank you very much. Question number 2.
Can I rebut? Is it a rule where I can rebut to that?
Well, you got 2 rebuttals. That may be 1, yes.
That may be 1.
Yeah, please.
Yeah. That's the rule. I say you can't go to debate.
Please. Do not respond to the PO. Don't do that. Respond to this man. He's your target. Yes. Rebuttal.
Yeah,
rebuttal number 1.
What he provided are all out of the picture.
Okay.
Julius Kuli Kanaba resigned the president job in search of greener pasture with the European Union. And when you want to compare that with my wife, then in your world of education, analogies like that don't work. Good. My wife is a professional journalist who has never been elected as Assistant Secretary General, who was competently recruited by the European Union and is serving her work at the EU. So as you, Mr. Kuli Kanamba, who was voted by us, we took you to the Assistant Secretary post. We campaign for you, put our reputation on the line. Before 1 year, you resign because of the U.S. dollars at the European Union. Thank you.
All right. Any more question? Any more?
Another rebuttal, please.
Huh?
Another rebuttal.
Another rebuttal. You still have 1. Right to 1, Julius. Yes.
Our next rebuttal is on membership. Yes, on membership.
Number 2. Rebuttal number 2 last.
Rebuttal.
Yes.
In his comments, he talked about membership paying dues across the country. This is one challenge we have. We're talking about him, and I'm so glad that he mentioned the Liberia Bar Association. These lawyers own their bar. They serve their bar with their talents, their gifts, and their presence. And Mr. Kuli Kanaba says he came to the country except for him taking up a job at EU, which is not EU, but Internews, which is Tato Media. He has never participated one day in any union activity. Except for the one instance when he was already vying for president. And as a rare behind.
All right. It should be that friendly. Julius, your last rebuttal now to the man.
Yeah, 2 things, right? I mean, Daniel.
Please come. Daniel, come to the.
Daniel should be honest.
Again, we say. Hello.
We are very honest.
Again, we.
Nothing for the youth.
Hello, wait. Don't do that. I'm wary with your attitude, and you should be professional people. We are setting the pace for this kind of democracy. How can you not do your debate better? How can they respect us? What are we going to take to 2023? All right? Thank you. Anymore, the man has his right to dance. That's part of the game. He shouldn't insult anybody. All right? So, Kanuba, please.
The Press Union Liberia has been organizing many different programs. One example of this honesty is that Daniel, for example, when I returned to Liberia in 2021, having gone out to seek professional education, I came to Liberia, I participated in the Press Union of Liberia 2021 Awards Night. And Daniel was there. He in fact went to the MC and recognized me.
That's
how
not
will
true.
you say it
That's
is
not
only
true.
in
Please, you cannot respond.
Nathaniel McGill was one of the officials of government at the presence in the Pinsville City Hall.
You can't do that.
It is true. So you have to provide the facts, right?
So you reject that.
I mean, totally. He knows it's not true. And then the second point about the rebuttal, in his statement, he said, I went for greener pasture. I went for money. I've been to the United States. I won a fellowship to go to America. If there is anything greener pasture costs for, wouldn't I stay in America? I've been to Sweden. I've been to Sweden. I've been to Sweden. If there is anything greener pasture costs for, wouldn't I stay there? I've been to Germany. I've been at Internews very recently. I mean, sorry, I have to say this publicly, right? I've been working with Internews, helping to develop the media in the country in terms of different interventions. I've been working with Daniel, right? So how will you say it's greener pasture when you, in fight, I mean, I don't have to state it, but they fought me at my job, in fact. They wrote a letter asking my employer to take action against me because they heard that people are consulting me on the PUL leadership. And thanks to Mohammed Khan or Sion Big Brother, when I came in 2021, he was there. Ask Daniel. He told us, and Daniel was there, that Julius be getting ready for the presidency of the PUL.
Where?
So if they were greener pasture, how can I leave into a news job of close to $3,000 and coming back to the PUL?
Thank you.
Greener pasture.
All right, thank you.
Pasture?
So you were not looking for greener pasture. Two of you back off. Goodbye. Goodbye. Thank you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's give ourselves a big hand of applause. With challenges, we are rolling out this debate, and it's going very well. Now will be your time. We're taking 10 questions, 5 to women, 5 to men. Yes, you are number 1. I saw your name, your hand up first. Yes. Take the mic right there. Let's hear you. There's a mic. And you can't ask question to everybody. You can't ask 2 questions. You can ask 1 question to a person. Or will not go. Let's go. Your name, sir? Ducor debates.
This is an LMDI production.
Thank you very much. This is Willie Tupa, current Vice President of the Reporters Association of Liberia and President-elect of all reporters in the country.
All right. So you will pay for promoting your job here today.
The Reporters Association is the largest auxiliary on the PE.
Please go ahead with your question. We know that.
Over the time, we've observed that the activities of the Reporters Association, or PE activities, have not been reflective of the Reporters Association.
Okay.
So both of you, Julius or Daniel, either of you, if you become president of the
Who do you target to answer this question?
To both of them.
No. That's our rule.
My question is general.
No, so I don't want a general question because it will delay us. Who do you want to talk to?
I'm sending it to the presidential candidates.
I said no. You are elected, live by the rule. Don't be unpresidential. Send it to 1 person.
I send it to Daniel.
Daniel, please come.
So, Mr. Nyakuna, like I said all the time, your leadership is PEL.
Go ahead, he's listening.
I want you to come forward.
Daniel, please live by the rule, Mr. Kennedy.
All the time, we've observed that your leadership, which is serving, had always sidelined the Reporter Association, all of our activities, to include projects. So, as President-elect, and honor our leadership, what we intend, and we want you to make a commitment that all of your projects and activities, the Reporter Association should have 25% participation in it.
Daniel,
to that, please.
25%. What you say?
Yeah, I take that as a policy prescription from from the incoming president, and you can as well start to talk to our able vice president who will be assisting us on auxiliaries. She will make sure to factor you in. Very handsome. Thank you.
All right. Next question. So we here in the middle, Central Africa, want to go to, is that the West? The West. The man way in the back there. Yes, with the lapel closed. Yeah, you. You're not sure what you said, right?
I am not.
Oh,
Thank God I am now.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone.
So count down from 10, number 9.
Yes, I'm good.
Yes.
My name is Sidney Nicole Jr.
All right.
And I direct my question to the Honorable Daniel Yankuna.
Daniel, come back. Nicole, Sydney, Lux FM wants to talk to you. Yes.
I understand the issue of sacrifice. I'd like you, Daniel, to describe for me sacrificing as opposed to abandonment.
As opposed to what? Abandonment, okay.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Sidney. If you see Daniel's and read Daniel's history at the Press Union of Liberia, you get to appreciate sacrifice. At the Press Union of Liberia, there's not salary there that we go for. We go there to serve. And I've stayed for the last 9 years in that service. Sometimes you get tempted to leave, but you tell yourself, there are folks who trust that I can deliver, and we stay on. Versus abandonment, Julius Conover can best define abandonment. He left the union. He went for a job, over $3,000 United States dollars, public relations job. Oh, my man, you had a job. You ate the money. They asked me when.
Daniel, you can't do that.
Thank you very much.
Julius, sorry. Julius, you can't do that. The man on the floor. All right. Let's begin that here.
He went for the job, left us all. Who can pay for him? Titus Stokpa is there. Where my friend Festa?
Are you looking for proof?
Was there. Yeah.
Back off, your time finished. Count down to 0 from 10 number. No woman? You start your thing here again? What a woman? Yeah, come on. Don't mind their hand up. They won't deny you again. So why? We say woman, you put your hand up. What a woman, yeah? Ducor debates. Thank you. Your name,
I'm George Lewier.
George Lewier?
Yes. And my question is being directed to Julius Caliber.
Julius Caliber, take the podium for your constituent. All right. Lewier. Yes.
Okay, so you spoke about the issue of due payment.
Uh-huh.
You said that over time the PEL has collected due and that has not been reflective of reporters. So I'd like to know, since you came back, or at the time you were away, when was the last time you paid due? Thank you.
Ducor debates.
Thank you very much, George. The issue of dues, right? Per the constitution of the PUL, the union needs to collect the dues through the institutions that we work with and for. So it is not an individual member walking to the PUL to pay dues. No. But because the PUL, under the Daniel leadership and under the Secretariat, has now been able to enforce that portion of the Constitution, that is why most of us, if not including you, right, you've not been able to pay due per the Constitution. We need to collect the dues through the respective institutions. It is only freelancer, people who are institutionally attached, but they are not employed. So the Constitution provision has been there. And on due payment, right, in 2016, I was in Liberia. I participated in the elections of Daniel as Secretary General, President Kofi, Vice President Williams, and I think Darius Zinam, if I can remember the listing, right? I was not running. If you ask Mr. Page, I pay all of my dues because I was not in Liberia. And since I came in Liberia, the president knows where I work. Ask Daniel whether they've gone to Internews. You have professionals who are at Internews that Daniel calls a cartel.
Did you pay?
It should have been collected through the institution.
Okay.
The PUL did not collect it through the institution. That is the law. We have to go by the law.
Okay.
So what we intended to do is to work with the journalists, because the due payment cannot be done individually. It should be done through the institution. And the PUL Constitution calls for recognized and accredited media. So, for instance, if you're talking about the rise of people who are on social media, online TV, right? Each individual is establishing online TV. So if they don't have a business registry, for example, how would that person, whether they are recognized as a journalist or not, how would they pay the dues to the PUL? The Constitution is saying the PUL should go to ELBC, the management. The management will sit with the workers and then transmit the money directly to the union's account. So the leadership has been ineffective. They've not been able to pay, to collect the dues through the institutions. I, as an individual member, whether contesting or not contesting, I have paid my dues. And the records are there. I mean, Akwe is in the Secretariat. If the union has a good record, they should check and see whether Julius Kanuma has not been able to pay his dues.
Thank you.
It's clear. It's clear.
Hey. All right. JKB. Yes. All right. From way back there, we'll come here from 10 to 0, number 7. 6.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Yes, sir.
Let me say thanks to both Daniel and then Julius with the intention to serve our institution. My question is to Daniel. Daniel, during your tenure at the union, we heard about $10,000 from the expiring presidential Daniel Cassell, for example. Just a recent celebration, another $10,000 from the sitting government of the Republic of Liberia. Where are all these monies?
Ducor debates.
This is an LMDI production.
Thank you very kindly.
Yes, Daniel.
Mr. J. Cover Bien. You asked about monies. The first one is Daniel Cassell. He gave the President of Liberia $10,000 for refurbishment of his headquarters on Clay Street. Later, the President called an executive committee into function, and the executive committee decided that it will be used for the construction of the headquarters. That money, I show you guys I understand English with all the O. That money.
Daniel, please speak.
Good. That money is in
you have listen
account.
You have your right to vote. You feel insulted, that's your personal decision. I don't feel insulted, and I'm a member of the union before you. Daniel, please speak.
Good. An escrow account was established, and that $10,000 is in that escrow account. I amazed the kind of speculation that is around that $10,000 has been eaten. No, the $10,000 is safe and sound and breathing in the account.
Thank you. Yeah. Anything else?
Another yes. One. Mr. Cover Bien pitched another question about another money given for the River G celebration. That money has clear-cut description. The description there was that it will be used for the anniversary in River G. And one of those who even benefited from the money in Azere, he said it right there. Yeah, you were there. You there your cut.
All right, we're going back somewhere. We came from there to here. The middle is next. I want to hear the man who's very noisy. Let me understand. Now, I don't know what you will do about me. Who telling you you're noisy? You will not vote for me too? Do I care for power?
So my name is Emmanuel Jira Gagaswa Senior, and I report for the Independent newspaper.
For the Independent?
Newspaper.
Okay, go ahead.
Part of the attribute of good journalism is truth-telling and honesty.
Right.
This argument that is in the corridor that our area leader, the soon-to-be president of President Liberia, abandoned a assistant secretary position and went for greenhouse pasture. The other camp is using this as a propagandist tool to say
the man is landing. You have the stage until you finish. Don't mind them.
So the other camp are painting a picture that Daniel, 9 years spent in the leadership hierarchy of the PER, has all been sacrificial. So the question to you, Kennedy Daniel, in the space from 2013 up to present, can you tell this general body, can you show any evidence that you have had any opportunities similar to our candidate for which you forfeited and say, I want to sacrifice for PER, so I'm taking our scholarship?
Thank you. Daniel, that simple answer, man. So let's hear what you say. Which one you had?
Thank you.
All right, Daniel.
With a very long premise, but
please give Daniel a chance.
With a very long premise with 40 sentences, I will provide context. Daniel Young Conan applied for masters in Kenya. He was accepted, but decided that it will go. The second one.
You ask the man question, he's answering. You don't have a right to objection. Your objection is inside you. And that goes for everybody. Daniel, go ahead and speak and leave.
The second one was Uganda. We applied, we were accepted, we thought it wise to stay. Thank you very much.
All right, Daniel, thank you. I come down from 10 to 0, number 4. Who is that? Yeah, that you. Don't worry, we're coming and we got 3 more. No women? What are women? We here, you're 2 here, you probably just making noise on the side. Go ahead. Your name? What are women? Yeah, man, yeah, you there. Come in. My man, you make it quick, man. Oscar.
Thank you. I'd like to greet everyone in the hall and extend my thanks to the organizers.
What's your name?
My question.
What's your name?
My name is Oscar Moore.
Call your name, man. Not everybody know your name. What?
My name is Oscar Moore. My question is directed to candidate Daniel Yankona.
Dan? Can I, your man, Oscar? Yeah. I think it's also friends. Yeah. Oscar, what you said?
My question to Daniel is, I sat and listened to you, Daniel. You took glory for the decentralization of the press unit of Liberia, and you failed to take responsibility for the headquarters, and then you squarely placed the blame on the president. What's your understanding of leadership?
Oh, simple. I did not put the lack of headquarters construction squarely with the president. What I said was that the president was bearing the standard, and I'm sure you understand that. As a student of international relations, you understand that. So standard, meaning that he released the flock at the union. And if you fail to understand that, just know that leadership defines itself. That Charles Coffey is leading the flocks at the union. Daniel Yankona is behind him. Akwe Beza is in the back seat, and Musa Kane is in the middle. Thank you very much, and that's leadership for you.
All right. Countdown number 3 now. We are at 3. What a woman. Ma, yeah, you there. Oh, woman, order your 2 answer. In fact, at your time, don't mind them. The men and I speak plenty. Don't listen to that. Come order, man. Yeah, there. Your knee, don't mind them. One of them where? My man, are your penny, man. Women are your talk. They're not your penny. You're not in charge of the thing. I told you. All right. Yeah.
My name is Rita Drogbe Duo.
Yeah, go ahead.
I am a journalist.
Yes.
My question is directed at Julius Canova.
Julius, Rita, you hear her, a voter, or convince her?
I want to know,
you there?
and others here also want to know, the leadership ability of this young man, his working relation with other people. How good is it when his most former immediate bosses are not supporting him, even those who he shared relations with in the media are supporting the other side? How does that speak to your human relation?
Good.
Embedded. How sure are we?
No, one question. Don't do that. Please answer that one. How can we trust your human relations?
Rita, thank you very much. I think when I work at Internews, you are somebody we've been working with. I don't like to use the word mentorship, right? But you know the sort of human relations that exercise along with you. So that is clear, right? On the if I'm lying, I mean you come and say, right? Because I work with you for over time, right? On the issue of Internews, I mean I don't want to be as explicit as possible because there are a lot of things that happen. I know you've been, sorry to say, you've been fed certain information by an individual at Internews, right? I work at Internews, and Daniel knows the individual. We discussed, and the individual knows himself or herself, right? We discussed. So the issue about Internews not supporting me, I like to state very clearly, I have a good professional relation with Internews. Even before coming up to accept to be the next president of the PUL, right? We had discussions. When the president, through Daniel and others, they wrote a letter to my employer seeking out of my dismissal or preventing me from going to the PUL. When they stopped, what Internews said was clear. Julius, in fact, we have a project for you to implement. I mean, it's clear. Go and ask whether Leon Bash, the chief of party, Jefferson Massa, I saw one of the Internews staff, two, in fact, Armstrong B, Ziowe. Go and ask Torwan Silante. These are professional journalists working at Internews. Ask them, Be factual. Don't just rely on one information. Right.
So your human relations are good.
It's excellent.
Thank you. You've answered the question. Yeah. Thank you.
On leadership, she asked about leadership.
On leadership.
Yeah.
Yes.
About leadership abilities. Rita, if you know me well, I've worked in different media institutions. I exercised various leadership roles. We were instrumental in the formation of the Reporters Association of Liberia, to which Otavin Williams became the first president when the Reporter Association was formed. We were instrumental in the formation of the Legislative Press Pool, to which Daniel was there, I served as president. He knows that. We transitioned smoothly.
Ladies and gentlemen, may we give both teams a big hand of applause. On Ducor debates today, shutting down now. All right, ladies and gentlemen, now departure of the candidates right now. Thank you. Ducor debates.
This is an LMDI production.
Let's see the departure of Akwe Beza. Goodbye on Ducor debates. Akwe Beza will leave the hall. Better Mbaya, goodbye. Beatrice, goodbye. Julius Kanuba, goodbye. And Daniel Yankona, goodbye. From Monrovia, today, UL Campus Fendall, Ducor debates is shutting down. I'm John Colley, Ducor debates. Ducor debates.
This is an LMDI production.
Ducor debates. Ducor debates.
This is an LMDI production.
Ducor debates. Ducor debates.
This is an LMDI production.
Ducor debates.
This is an LMDI production.